What if you could talk to Blender like it's a person? Create a red metallic sphere on top of that cube. Add studio lighting, download a rock texture from Polyhaven, and scatter 10 copies around the scene. Take a screenshot so I can see how it looks. Someone built this. 19,000 stars. And Blender themselves launched an official project inspired by it. This is Blender MCP, an open-source integration that connects Blender to Claude AI through the Model Context Protocol. 19,000 stars, 1,900 forks, MIT licensed. You type natural language to Claude, and it translates your requests into Blender Python API calls that execute in real time. Create objects, modify materials, set up lighting, download assets, generate 3D models from text, and Claude can see your viewport through screenshot capture, a real visual feedback loop. Let's talk traction. 19,000 stars, 1,900 forks, 20 contributors. The original demo tweet got 1.8 million views, 12,000 likes, and 11,000 quote tweets. It was so influential that the Blender Foundation officially launched their own MCP server project, Blender Lab, directly inspired by this community project. That's the ultimate validation. And this is where it gets magical. 3 layers. A Blender add-on opens a TCP socket server inside Blender on port 9876. An MCP server bridges Claude to that socket. And Claude Desktop, Cursor, or VS Code connects via the Model Context Protocol. You talk to Claude. Claude sends JSON commands. The add-on executes them using Blender's Python API on the main thread. And the key feature, Claude can capture viewport screenshots and actually see what the scene looks like, enabling iterative creation through conversation. But here's what blew up the internet. The things you can say to Claude with Blender MCP running. Create a low-poly dungeon with a dragon guarding a pot of gold. Make this car red and metallic with studio lighting. Download a rock model from Polyhaven and scatter 10 copies around the scene. Build a Minecraft-style terrain with hills and a river. Apply a wood texture to the table. Generate a cartoon wizard using Hyper 3D. Or just say, take a screenshot so I can see how it looks. Claude sees it, gives feedback, and keeps iterating. Think about what this means for 3D creation. Blender MCP doesn't just create primitives, it has a full asset pipeline built in. Polyhaven gives you access to 1,500 free HDRIs, textures, and 3D models, downloaded and applied through conversation. Sketchfab integration lets you search and download from the largest 3D model library on the web. And Hyper 3D Rodin generates brand new 3D models from text descriptions or reference images. You describe what you want. Claude builds it from assets you didn't even have to find. Here's who built this. Siddharth Ahuja, head of product at Moonlake AI, masters from the Copenhagen Institute of Interaction Design, and a designer-turned-engineer who calls this building intelligence for an interface. He also built Ableton MCP for music production, 1,500 stars. Combined, his MCP projects reach over 2.5 million users. His philosophy, everything that needs intent should stay human. The AI handles the interface complexity. You handle the creativity. Install the add-on. Configure Claude Desktop. Start talking to Blender. Blender MCP, so good that Blender built their own version. Subscribe to Awesome FOSS. We find the best open source tools so you don't have to.